Hello and welcome back to the Yogi Collection. I'm Yogi, your curator for today. As promised, I'm going to dedicate this video solely to Majorette. Why did I choose Majorette to dedicate a video to? Well, they really impressed me over the last few years with the quality of their craftsmanship. And I think it's important that more collectors here, especially in the United States, really appreciate what Majorette has to offer. For the record, Majorette is not sponsoring this video. I wish they would, but Majorette is not sponsoring this video. This is a pure Yogi curated video for you today, dedicated to Majorette. So with that, welcome to the show. Since its founding in 1961 and its first diecast rolled off the assembly line in 1964, Majorette has gone through a lot of changes, as well as gone through a lot of ownership changes over the last few decades. Majorette was founded in 1961 in Lyon, France by Émile Véron. The company initially started as a subsidiary of the French toy manufacturer Railroute, focusing on die-cast cars and other vehicles. In the 1960s, Majorette became famous for its 1/64 scale models, which captured the essence of contemporary European cars. The brand quickly distinguished itself with its detailed models, vibrant colors, and robust construction. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Majorette expanded its range, including more international vehicle models and introducing innovative features like opening doors, suspension, and more detailed interiors. The company also expanded globally during this period, becoming a well-known brand in the toy car market worldwide. The late 1980s and 90s were challenging for Majorette due to increased competition and a changing market dynamic. The company faced financial difficulties and underwent several changes of ownership during this period. By 1992, Majorette declared themselves insolvent or bankrupt in the United States and underwent changes of ownership during this period. Unfortunately, by 2003, Majorette yet again declared themselves insolvent and yet again was acquired by another company. This time, the company was called the Smoby Group. This acquisition was a strategic move that placed these brands under the umbrella of a larger toy conglomerate. And you're going to see that pattern with a lot of these toy companies. If I ever curate them individually, I'll be sure to go over that. Smoby itself, however, faced financial difficulties and declared itself insolvent in 2007. Following these challenges, in 2008, Majorette was acquired by the French financial investor MI29. This marked a period of transition for the brand, reflecting the changing dynamics of the toy industry and the need for adaptation and resilience in the face of economic challenges. And if you recall, in 2008, that was the year when the housing market bubble popped, so everybody was hurting. However, the story of Majorette is not just about changes of ownership, but also the ability for the company to overcome and evolve over time. After the acquisition by MI29, the Majorette brand eventually became part of the Simba Dickey Group in 2010, and that's where they are today. Some other familiar names under the Simba Dickey Group are brands like Jada, Tamaya, Shulco. A lot of these should look familiar to you, and I'm finding that again, a lot of these toy manufacturers are under a conglomerate such as this. This endurance and perseverance is exactly why they are being curated today on the Yogi Collection. The 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami occurring on December 26, 2004, was one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history, devastating coastal areas across 14 countries around the Indian Ocean, including Thailand. The estimated death toll from this catastrophic event was around 227,000 lives. And I mention this because the manufacturing plant for Majorette was in Thailand, and it was indeed destroyed by this tsunami. This event marks a pivotal moment in Majorette's history, showcasing their ability to overcome challenges and emerge stronger. This event led to the rebuilding of the factory with new, ultra-modern machines, molds, and tools. This reconstruction was a crucial part of Majorette's history, marking a significant shift in their manufacturing process and contributing to the modernization of the brand, leading to a renewed success in their global market. It's a story of transformation and the triumph that will resonate with you today. And that's where I pick up the story. During my brief time of collecting 1/64 scale diecast, I was introduced to Majorette like everybody else through Target or through Walmart purchases. But what I started to notice was that their level of detail was on par, if not better, than the Hot Wheels Car Culture premium line. And that's a significant improvement. So I'm going to curate 8 of their latest designs from WRC all the way to the classic Volkswagen bus. But before I do that, I need to show you what a 1970s, 1980s style Majorette diecast car looked like so that you can get an idea of how much of an improvement they've made over those decades. I acquired this Datsun 280Z from an eBay seller here in the United States, and what I was looking for was mid-80s, maybe 90s style manufacturing so that I could compare it to what they're building today, and I think this is a prime example. It's got some really nice pinstriping as well as graphics on the hood, the doors open, and one of the things that came with this that I really like is the trailer, and it actually still works with their modern designed cars. Not very well, but it does sit on the trailer without falling off. The wheels on this casting are of course made of plastic, and there's really nothing special about them. However, they do give you a little bit of a spring or suspension effect when you push down on them. So that's a nice touch. There isn't a whole lot of detail on the taillights or the headlights for that matter, but you can see the 280Z logo on the side of the car, as well as the gas tank, and a few other touches that makes this a really nice collectible, but nowhere near the level of detail with today's cars. Let's take a look. Okay, first up is the Land Rover Defender 110. We all know about the Land Rover's ruggedness and dependability in harsh conditions, so this car is certainly a collector's item if you're really into these types of cars. I personally am not, but I do like the style, and I do recognize the history of Land Rover. And as far as Majorette is concerned, the 2 actions of opening the doors and the hood are an added bonus, and the wheels, the tires themselves are really unique. Not so much the rim, because the rim appears to be just the same style rim as what they're using in the WRC and the Volkswagen Bud, but it is chromed. But what really stands out is the off-road tires on this model and the nice hitch on the back. And in fact, I was curious, so I tried hooking up the old 1980s hitch to this model, and it did indeed fit. And I was able to drive it around and haul all kinds of things with it. So a very good model to have in your collection. So the 110 in the name refers to the wheelbase length in inches, distinguishing it from the shorter 90 and the longer 130 models. The Land Rover Defender has been a mainstay in many military, expedition, and humanitarian aid operations around the world, solidifying its status as an icon of durability and resilience. And drug dealers like them too. Ah yes, the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. This one's pretty special. I really love the paint job on this car. It's a quintessential Aston Martin green, as well as the headlights, the tinted plastic lenses they put on the headlights, and it also matches the windscreen and rear screen. Heck, even the side screens are a yellow or orange color. I really love this thing. The livery is not exactly authentic, but it does pay homage to the racing pedigree of the GT8. The real GT8 is a limited production car from the GTE lineup, and only 150 of these cars were ever made. Interior detailing is top notch. You can really see the center console as well as the dashboard pretty clearly, and the doors open up really wide. I really love this design, and that's why it's here today. Okay, the Volkswagen T1, also known as the microbus. This bus is deeply ingrained in automotive culture, recognized for its role in the 1960s counterculture movement, and it's often called the hippie bus, or at least that's what I call it. Yeah, overall, I really loved what they did with the color combination here. However, they get a major strike because the Volkswagen logo on the nose of the vehicle has some red paint that leached out, so not quite showroom ready, if you will. But I do love the meta shout out for my favorite miniature car, Majorette brand. I really like this. I plan on setting up a Majorette display in my studio so that when I show people different brands, they can see Majorette versus Hot Wheels versus Tamiko versus whatever. The 1964 date on there indicates the first diecast created by Majorette. I said 1961 earlier, but that's when they started doing railroad and rail car stuff, but they started doing 1/64 scale diecast in 1964. Alright, next up is the Lamborghini Huracan Avio. Avio is Italian for aviation, and this particular car is a special edition road car with a limited production run. The Avio features a unique livery inspired by aviation, with the Italian Air Force's aeronautical design as a theme. Only 250 Avio Lamborghini Huracans were ever made, so this is an extremely rare car. The Majorette Premium line also includes rubber tires and oftentimes custom wheels. The Avio is no exception. Clearly, you can see that not all of my favorite Majorette cars have anything to do with motorsports. However, when you think about the Volkswagen Bug, it kind of does have something to do with motorsports because the Porsche was inspired by Volkswagen, and I'll do a whole video series on that in the future. Be sure to let me know what you think about that and leave a comment below. So anyway, this Volkswagen Bug is it's awesome. It's the epitome of summer. It's the epitome of the 1960s and 1970s. Free love, free spirit, yada yada. I really like it. I like the rubber tires, a little bit of spring play. And in fact, these wheels look a lot like the ones that are on the WRC line of cars as well. Okay, next up is the Porsche 934 RSR. And I immediately thought to myself, this car looks really big. And then I flipped it over and realized that it is a 157 scale, so not quite 164. And I'm going to go into more detail about that later on in the video. But this car in particular has a great color combination of an olive colored green as well as the teal or bright blue color. Also, the headlights are lenses. The Porsche logo is visible. This is all in all a really nice car, nice and sturdy. It has some shock absorption and the wheels are indeed rubber. So this is a really good car, although not 164 for what it's worth. Okay, it's time for Nerd Alert! That's right, Nerd Alert. It is time for Nerd Alert, and what that means is that I'm going to go into great detail on the motorsports history on some of these cars, because I think it's important that you understand where these cars come from, where the inspiration is coming from, and for my younger viewers, gives you a little bit of a lesson on why these cars are so important to our motorsports history. Starting with the 934 RSR. The Porsche 934 RSR was a racing version of the Porsche 911 Turbo designed for the Group 4 racing class. With its turbocharged engine and wide body, the 934 RSR was successful in the late 1970s and is now a classic racing icon. The real Porsche 934 RSR was known for its significant power at the time, making it a formidable competitor in various international racing events, including the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That's right, Le Mans. For the people who made comments about that in my last video when I said Le Mans or Le Mans, it is Le Mans. I knew that. I was just Americanizing things. Anyway, moving on. All right, we're going to stick with motorsports here, and we're going to talk about the Ford Fiesta WRC. And this is just not some WRC. This is actually a true racing car-inspired design. Gus Greensmith is recognized in the rally world for his participation with the M Sport Ford World Rally Team. His presence in the WRC brings attention to the skill and tenacity required in one of motorsport's most demanding disciplines. If you have not seen a World Rally Championship, Google it and look at the videos. They're nuts. The Ford Fiesta WRC is a testament to the technological advancements in rally car engineering, showcasing innovations in aerodynamics, lightweight materials, and powerful, efficient engines designed for the diverse and challenging conditions of rally racing. Alright, this next one's really special. This is a Hyundai i20 Coupe WRC, and again, WRC stands for World Rally Championship, and it's developed by Hyundai Motorsports. The car features the name and image of Thierry Neuville, a prominent rally driver who competes in the WRC for Hyundai Motorsports. Thierry Neuville is one of the top competitors in WRC, known for his consistent performance and rally wins. The Hyundai i20 Coupe WRC is a reflection of Hyundai's commitment to motorsports and their success in the WRC, which has been growing since their return to the championship in 2014. These cars are super quick, super nimble, and they are fun and a blast to drive in a sim. Alright, so before we continue on to the rankings, I wanted to illustrate the differences between 1/64 scale, which is this tarmac, and the other scales. For example, the green Porsche is a 157 scale. The Aston Martin is also a little on the big side, coming in at 1/50th scale. So here on the ruler, you can see they're about a half an inch longer than the 1/64 scale. Personally, it doesn't make a difference to me. However, when I get into dioramas, it may make a difference because they're going to be a little bit larger than their counterparts made from Hot Wheels or Matchbox. Okay guys, it's that time again. It's time for the Yogi rankings from last to first. You ready? Here we go. Alright, bringing up the rear is the Volkswagen T1 van. Bringing up on position 7 would be the Volkswagen Beetle. Position 6 goes to the Land Rover Defender. I really like the tires. The tires were a key selling point for me on that car. Next up, the Lamborghini Huracan with the aviation livery. It looks really cool. I've only seen videos of these cars on YouTube, but they look really cool and they sound even better. Coming up in position 4 is the Porsche 934 RSR. The classic green colors, the plastic lenses for headlights, and the Porsche logo sold it for me. It's a little on the big side, but I do like big cars. Number 3 is the Aston Martin Vantage GT8. Love, love, love the headlights, the gold color and the livery, the tinted windows. It is a great casting. And at number 3 is one of the two WRC cars, the Ford Fiesta WRC. Great livery combination, but it just can't compare to the Hyundai i20 Coupe. The blue and orange remind me of the Gulf livery. Just the whole combination of it and the way it sounds, and the drivers put these two cars in first and second. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up. It really goes a long way to promote the channel. And with that, the collection is closed.